News at 10. First, the highlights. Lagos State Governor emphasizes multi-stakeholder partnerships for cooperative sector development. President Tinubu approves group life assurance for soldiers who died in line of duty. On the foreign scene, heavy rains trigger landslides, floodings in Nepal, and in sport, racist fans attack Super Eagles forward Dele Agadumo after new signing with Italian club Lazio. Now the details. I am Dele Agadumo. Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has emphasized the importance of fostering multi-stakeholder partnerships to leverage the strength and resources of all actors in the cooperative sector, a synergy he described as essential to achieving accelerated sustainable development. Governor Sanwo-Olu stated this at an event organized by the Ministry of Commerce, Cooperative Trade and Investment to commemorate the 2024 International Day of Cooperatives with the theme Cooperatives Building a Better Future for All. The governor, who was represented by the Permanent Secretary Olugbemiga Aino, noted that cooperative societies will always be relevant as medium for bringing government development program closer to the larger society.
That as a sub-sovereign that houses about 60 to 70% of the commercial activity of the Nigerian business, the ease of doing business is a priority. And Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu is not missing words. On the 9th of July, that's coming Tuesday, he's summoning the whole corporate environment, the big wigs, to come to have a talk and also bring in his sovereign agencies to discuss how can we further improve. Lagos is the fifth largest economy.
Commissioner for Commerce, Cooperatives, Trade and Investment, Folashade Ambrose Medibem, explained that through partnerships with various stakeholders, cooperatives have supported the creation of new businesses, expansion of industries, improved access to finance and played instrumental roles in achieving the goals set out in the Lagos State Development Plan 2052. Ambrose Medibem, who was represented by the Director, Cooperative Services, Zulika Ibrahim, said the state government efforts are reflected in the registration of 615 new cooperative societies in the last 1 year, in addition to over 3,000 societies already in existence. On his part, President of the Lagos Cooperative Federation, Oladipo Shoble, commended the state government for including the Cooperative Developmental Fund in the 2024 budget, noting that this will further propel the development of cooperatives and their members.
But I can assure you, in the next 2-3 years, we will begin to see the effects of this Cooperative Development Fund. It will be well utilized. It will be well utilized. We have assured the government that it will be well accounted for, and the fund will get to the place where it's supposed to, get.
Shoble explained that the International Cooperative Day is an annual event celebrated on the first Saturday of July every year to increase awareness on cooperatives as well as strengthen the external partnerships between the international cooperative movement, government and other stakeholders. Lagos State Environmental Protection Agency, LASEPA, is partnering with ECHO to organize a 5-day clean air forum in Lagos with the theme Advancing Collaborations and Multi-Regional Partnerships for Clean Air Actions in African Cities. General Manager of LASEPA, Tunde Ajayi, said the forum, which is scheduled from July 8 to 12, is aimed at addressing the issues of air pollution in Africa and to chart a course for improved air quality in the continent through an acceptable policy framework for a healthy citizenry. Ajayi, who said the state government is fully prepared to co-host the event with ECHO towards tackling the problem of air pollution troubling the region, noted that over 350 participants from over 40 countries will be attending the conference in Nigeria. According to him, air quality communities in practice in Africa, comprising different stakeholders, including policymakers, representatives from civil society organizations, the private sector, development partners, and the scientific communities will be at the event. States across Nigeria experienced another round of blackout on Saturday as the national electricity power grid crashed to 70.60 megawatts around 4 p.m. It marked the seventh time the national grid would collapse in 2024. Data on the Nigeria grid generation profile supplied by the Transmission Company of Nigeria showed that power generation on the grid moved up slightly to 70.30 megawatts around 5 p.m. as engineers struggled to restore the grid. Reacting, the executive director of the Electricity Consumer Protection Advocacy Center, Principal Okori, regretted that the grid keeps collapsing despite the increase in electricity tariffs. Okori expressed concern that unmetered customers would be made to pay for the period of the collapse, questioning what the government had been doing to prevent such incidents. Now to the rest of the stories. President Bola Tinubu has approved the payment of a group life assurance for soldiers who died in the line of duty. Minister of Defense Badaru Abubakar stated this at the grand finale of the 2024 Nigerian Army Day celebration at the Maxwell Kobe Cantonment in Jos, Plateau State. Delivering the president's message at the occasion, Abubakar reiterated the federal government's commitment to the welfare of soldiers, saying the president is determined to build a well-equipped and truly professional army that will remain the pride of the nation. In his welcome address, the Chief of Army Staff, Tarid Lagwaja, assured troops of the Army's determination to secure every land from terrorists. The Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU, has described the exclusion of education sector from the emergency funding as gross insensitivity. ASU National President Emmanuel Oshodeke expressed the association's displeasure while reacting to the federal government's plan to inject fresh 2 trillion naira into the economy. Oshodeke said even the various challenges that have plagued the Nigerian universities for years, the federal government is being insensitive. President Bola Tinubu had recently presented the outcomes of the federal government's review of the Accelerated Stabilization and Advancement Plan, which seeks to inject 2 trillion naira into the economy in the next 6 months. The president, who gave the presentation while inaugurating a 31-member Presidential Economic Coordination Council at the Aso Rock Villa, Abuja, said his administration was determined to increase crude oil production to 2 million barrels per day and generate more electricity for Nigerians. The president of the Nigerian Union of Journalists, NUJ, Chris Ishiguzo, has urged Nigerians to imbibe the act of book reading, especially as a healing therapy in the current economic situation. He gave the advice at the launch of a book titled Petals of Life, written by Lillian Ariel. Ishiguzo, who congratulated the author for a job well done, charged journalists to devote their time to innovative projects, especially in this age that the internet is taking over. The author, Lillian Ariel, a broadcast journalist at Voice of Nigeria VON, said the book is a collection of poems divided into 12 sections with 70 poems. Ariel narrated how her journey into literature works began, having bagged a degree in English and Literature Studies.
I'm so happy. I'm so fulfilled. You know, there's something about wanting something and seeing it come to pass. Like what I think is, I feel everyone that came here today must have been motivated in their own way to find themselves. Like I found myself in pen, and I've been able to put it in the form of writing, and that is why we are all here today, to celebrate the launch of the book Petals of Life. So the same way, I believe that there are also some people that are good in this writing, that I'm sure that by coming, they will see that, oh, I can do this. I can do this. It could be in other things. It may not be poetry. It may be storytelling. It could be any other thing.
The book reviewer, Dr. Olatuboso Taufik, an academic and creative writer, commended the author for her creative style of writing, saying issues such as the position of a girl child, her place in the world and her relevance, as well as the Japa syndrome, depression, and a whole lot were raised in the collection. Today is World Kiswahili Language Day. The General Conference of UNESCO at its 41st session of the General Conference in 2021 recognized the role Kiswahili language plays in promoting cultural diversity, creating awareness and fostering dialogue among civilians. The conference also noted the need to promote multilingualism as a core value of the United Nations and an essential factor in harmonious communication between peoples, which promotes unity in diversity and international understanding, tolerance, and dialogue. Kiswahili is the first African language to be recognized in such a manner by the United Nations and is one of the most widely used languages of the African family and the most widely spoken in sub-Saharan Africa. This year's celebration is themed Kiswahili, Education and Culture of Peace. Now to foreign news. Heavy rains have triggered landslides and flash floods, killing at least 11 people in the last 36 hours in Nepal, blocking key highways and roads. Police spokesperson Dan Karki stated that 8 people are missing, either washed away by floods or buried in landslides, while 12 others are injured and being treated in hospitals. Karki also said rescue workers are trying to clear the landslides and open the roads. In southeastern Nepal, the Koshi River, which causes deadly floods in the eastern Indian state of Bihar almost every year, was flowing above the danger level. Local media also showed people wading through waist-deep water or residents using buckets to empty their houses. At least 50 people across Nepal have died in landslides, floods, and lightning strikes since mid-June, when annual monsoon rains started. In our sports, Super Eagles forward Fisayo Bashiru has been trolled by racist fans hours after he was officially presented by top Italian Serie A club Lazio. Bashiru, who was born in Germany and also played in England, has signed a loan deal with obligation to buy after from Turkish club Hatayspor. The trolling, which were comments on the Lazio official social media account, saw some fans describing the player as a black monkey, while others called him a bag of coal. That ends our news at 10. Just before we go, maintain adequate distance from the vehicle ahead of you to avoid collision. You can follow us and like all our various social media platforms. X Traffic Radio 961, Facebook Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM, Instagram Lagos Traffic Radio 961. Subscribe and watch our news and programs live on YouTube at Traffic Radio 961. You can also visit our website at trafficradio961.ng. Did you know the Sanwo-Olu administration deployed traffic lights and CCTV cameras in strategic places in the state? You can get more details on the Lagos State Government website. To end the news, are the highlights of the major stories. Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has emphasized the importance of fostering multi-stakeholder partnerships to leverage the strength and resources of all actors in the cooperative sector, a synergy he described as essential to achieving accelerated sustainable development. President Bola Tinubu has approved the payment of a group life assurance for soldiers who died in the line of duty. We also told you that heavy rains have triggered landslides and flash floods, killing at least 11 people in the last 36 hours in Nepal, blocking key highways and roads. And in sports, Super Eagles forward Fisayo Bashiru has been trolled by racist fans hours after he was officially presented by top Italian Serie A club Lazio. For contact with the newsroom, send a message to info@trafficradio961.ng. That is news broadcast compiled by Adiwale Oluwaboku. I am Dele Agadumo. Good morning.